Hello friends, welcome back to my channel and into my home. Today we're doing a disaster clean of my house. This is odd to hear me say, and if you're a subscriber, I know it's odd to hear, because my channel is all about routines so that your home does not become a disaster. However, this video is watching me clean up after the Texas storm that made a disaster out of our state and many of our homes. I'm going to be sharing with you what we experienced and how we made it through. I'll also share with you what my 3 daughters and their families did. But first, let's take a look at what I'm dealing with. This stovetop stayed pretty busy during it all. I was able to cook, and we used it a lot to help keep warm in the house by boiling water on it. All the steam affected the adhesive on the command strips of this sign, so I'll have to replace them. We spent a lot of time at this dining room table playing games and looking out onto the lake. Yahtzee was a winner to keep us entertained. I have a lot of laundry and dishes to do, pet fur to vacuum, and floors to mop to get my house back in order so that I can start my routines on a clean slate.
There's a new day to leave behind your troubles. There's a new day.
Before we get started with cleaning, I'm going to share with you pictures and videos of what my family and home dealt with. So many had it far worse than we did, and our hearts went out to them. And where we could help, we did. Texas is known for being a friendly state, and in this crisis it was proven. Neighbors sacrificing for their neighbors. It was amazing to see and to be a part of. In Texas, we're not accustomed to this type of weather. Our homes are not built to withstand the cold or the ice. Our cities are not equipped with the equipment to clear our streets, and everything was covered in ice. And our power grid was terribly ill-prepared, and reports say that we were less than 5 minutes away from a total shutdown that would have lasted weeks if not months. Here is a video my son-in-law made of us filling a tank of water for his home.
Smells mom. Got the pump in the bathtub. 100 foot of garden hose. And we're gonna fill her up. And we're gonna fill up the tank at my house. Locked and loaded.
Waiting around the bend.
Here's a funny video I made of my daughter and I trying to clear our walkway. This was days after the original storm. We were using the wrong tool, I know, but it's what we had. Later, when we started working on the driveway, we used oven mitts to help with the blisters on our hands. My daughter is so thoughtful and caring. She insisted that she do this for us after work, so that we would have an easier time getting in and out without slipping. I'm glad that she did it so that the Amazon guy could make it to the front door. Okay, you're going to see me doing a lot of laundry. Since we were without water and electricity for several days, the laundry stacked up. I'm going to go ahead and start with the laundry from our suitcases that we used when we had to find shelter. We live in a new build neighborhood. The majority of the homes around us are less than 3 years old. Many of the homes had pipes burst that flooded their homes. The water poured out into our streets and froze solid, which further complicated matters. Before the storm, I made sure that we had the food that we would need to be shut in our homes for a week or two. We filled up our gas tanks, we filled up our tubs with water just in case if we needed it to bathe or flush toilets. We felt as prepared as any native Texan could feel prepared with the experiences of the snowstorms we've had in the past, because we were never warned that this storm would be much worse. We were below freezing for over a week, and 64 hours of that was without electricity and water. This made it imperative for us to find shelter.
If you give up the fight, if only just for a bit. There's a new day to leave behind your troubles. There's a new day, and it will set you free. I will always think of you and me. Darling, you've got to keep.
We decided that we need to leave our home and stay in a hotel. My husband's mother is in her 80s, and we needed to be sure to keep her safe. 2 of my 3 daughters also stayed in the same hotel. You know that my youngest and my oldest daughters both have newborns, and my middle daughter is pregnant right now. Here's a short video I took of Lyndon and Chase burning energy in the hallways at the hotel.
There's a new day, it is waiting for us. There's a
My oldest daughter decided to stay in their home and camp out for a couple of days until things got far too cold and they were forced to leave. They ended up staying with their in-laws who had both electricity and water. The hotel we stayed in eventually turned into an emergency shelter, and the lobby was filled with families sleeping on the floors. It really was a desperate situation, especially in the time of a pandemic.
I am on top of the world. I am on top of my life. And it is all 'cause of you.
My husband had to drive back and forth to our home because we were forced to leave our pets at the house. We had blankets piled high for them to bury and to keep warm. In between visits for food and potty breaks, we would hope to catch a glimpse of them on our Furbo pet treat camera, knowing that if we saw them, then the power was back on. Eventually we saw this and we were so excited.
Olive Gray said groo-hoo. Olive. I love that girl.
Now we were hopeful that we can at least return home to power. Once we did return home, we were on power and water restrictions so that we can conserve while our neighbors would hopefully get their power back on. This lasted a couple more days before I felt free to use my washer and my dishwasher. If you're wondering about the food we bought, I put frozen items in a bag and out into the snow, and cold items we put into an ice chest and out into the back patio. Thankfully, we didn't lose food. It took weeks for our store shelves to restock because the large trucks that deliver the food couldn't make it to the stores due to all the ice on the roads. So now that we're back into the house and I can safely feel that I can use the water and the electricity, I'm going to go ahead and get this house cleaned up so that we can start off on a fresh slate. My husband just got home from Costco. What am I supposed to do with all this syrup? These are little wooden houses that I had up in the window for Christmas. I went ahead and took them down. My grandkids like to use them with their train set. They call it the big buildings. I traded in my MacBook Air for my MacBook Pro, so I need to go ahead and get this sent off. my husband bought this nifty little vacuum that we use here on the coffee grinder. It works perfect for it. This coffee pot needs a good deep cleaning. I'll get to it as soon as I get to it in zone cleaning.
You got that something, baby, that I can go without, just like a poison in me. You're all that I'm about. Loving the highs, don't mind the lows. It's getting out of my control.
This little gadget is a frother. It's what we use to froth our cream for our coffee in the morning. It's a great price and comes in many colors. I'll link it down in my description box, along with some of the other products that you'll see me using. If you have any questions on anything else, just leave me a comment, and I'll get back to you.
If you don't get his soon, I'm addicted to your love, to your love, your love. I'm never gonna get enough. I'm a sucker for your love, for your love, your love. I'm never gonna get enough. You can end it, say it's over, but I'm never going sober. I'm addicted to your love, to your love, your love. I'm never gonna get enough of your love. I want your love. I need your love. 'Cause I'm never gonna get enough. Can't say I'm hurting, baby, but I don't feel too good. It's like I'm burning lately when you're not in my blood. Loving the highs, don't mind the lows. It's getting out of my control. I need your loving, baby. It's all I'm thinking of. Mama used to tell me love ain't right if it ain't easy, but I'm in too deep to walk away from you. Papa used to tell me love should never drive you crazy, but I lose my...
Okay, I'm going to quickly switch over my clothes to the dryer, and then I'll bring in my kitchen towels and microfiber cloths and get them started.
I'm a sucker for your love, for your love, your love. I'm never gonna get enough. You can end it, say it's over, but I'm never going sober. I'm addicted to your love.
It's important when you wash your microfiber cloths that you don't use a fabric softener.
Your love, I need your love, 'cause I'm never gonna get enough of your love. I want your love, I need your love, 'cause I'm never gonna get enough. Mama used to tell me love ain't right if it ain't easy, but I'm in too deep to walk away from you. Papa used to tell me love should never drive you crazy, but I lose my mind if you don't get his soon. I'm addicted to your love, to your love, your love. I'm never gonna get enough. I'm a sucker for your love, for your love, your love. I'm never gonna get enough. You can end it, say it's over, but I'm never going.
Now I'm going to unload the dishwasher from the dishes that we put in here earlier, and then I'll get another load started, and you'll also see me hand wash some dishes.
I need your love, 'cause I'm never gonna get enough of your love.
My little guy just woke up. You'll see him run into the shot so that I can help him get out of his pull-up and into his big boy pants. He's such a little sweet boy.
I had a feeling you'd come back and save me from all those lonely nights and heartbreaks. And I feel misplaced without you. Why don't we go back to, why don't we go back to, never wanted to end it like we did.
I'm using the Mrs. Meyer cream baking soda to clean my sink. I also add a little bit of Blue Dawn to help break up the grease. When you use the baking soda, you need to be sure to give it a really good rinse, and maybe even dry out your sink with a towel, because it helps to get the chalky residue off the sides of the sink.
Without you by my side, I still see your silhouette. Why don't we go back to, why don't we go back to your bedroom? my slip-ups and mistakes. And now I'm just pointless without you. Why don't we go back to, why don't we go back to, never wanted to end things like we did. I'm sorry for all those promises I made you that I couldn't keep. But it's like something feels different from back then. Why don't we...
Okay, it's time to switch out the clothes again. As soon as I hear the buzzer go off and my clothes are in the dryer, I immediately go in there because I do not want my clothes to get wrinkled. And what I do is, as I'm pulling them out, I go ahead and I hang them over the side of the basket. And then I take them into the room to be folded or hung up. I'm not as picky with my towels or other things, but my clothes I prefer not to leave in the dryer for any length of time past the bell. I want to welcome you if you're new here. I hope that you've enjoyed this video and that you will consider subscribing and being part of our community. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Michelle. I'm the mom to 3 moms and a son. I started this channel because I want to encourage women to take back their peace through cleaning, organizing, and setting up routines. Currently, we're doing a 6-month declutter and organize on my channel. I post new organizing videos on Sundays. If you like organizing, these are great videos to go to. I will post the playlist of the last 8 videos at the end of this video, and I'll also stick them in the cards above. Each video is no longer than 15 minutes long, and you will get all the motivation you need to start decluttering, and you can follow along with us in this challenge. And on Thursdays, I post cleaning videos. I follow a zone cleaning schedule, and I'm posting videos how I tweak the program to work for me. My Roomba has been busy helping me with the floors, but he didn't have much charge, so he died right here. I'll help him out and get him back to his dock, and then we'll get started on my filthy floors. I'm giving you a close-up of the floors. It's like this all around the main living areas. I vacuum twice a day, once in the morning by hand, and then I use my Roomba at night. It's the only way that I can keep up with all this pet fur. But with the storm, none of that got done. The floors are also muddy from tracking in the snow when my husband was coming back and forth to care for the pets. So I need to give the floors a deep clean as well.
When everything goes wrong, I'm trying to find a way to get you out of my head. Don't know how to cope with being so broken. Girl, I can't forget about what we said. I just wanna love you a little bit more. Don't just walk away from me and close the door. Baby, pull me closer now before it's over. I just wanna love you a little bit more. Oh, love you a little bit more. 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 How do you move on when everything is wrong? I'm trying to find a way to get you out my head. Don't know how to cope with being so broken. Girl, I can't forget about what you said. I just wanna love you a little bit more. Don't just walk away from me and close the door. Baby, pull me closer now before it's over. I just wanna love you a little bit more. Oh, love you a little bit more. Just a little bit. Love you a little bit more. Love you a little bit more. Just a little bit. Love you a little bit more.
Here's an after shot of just the floors that are in my main living areas. That's how much fur that I can get picked up.
They keep on telling lies. That is how we stay alive.
Okay, now I'm about to do my final load. I'm going to go ahead and take out the towels, and in just a bit we'll go ahead and fold those up and put those back in their proper place. And I'm going to go ahead and add in all the blankets that we laid out for the pets. I really like to use this Glamorous wash that I bought off Amazon. The fragrance is unbeatable. I only use it on my bedding, my silk pillowcases, and my throw blankets. The smell lasts the whole week before I wash them again.
Different minds.
This chore is super satisfying to me. There's something about getting them all lined up in the drawer that I just love seeing.
To survive, we're not the ones who hide. Two different minds. Oh, oh, oh. Two different minds. We're not the ones who hide. Two different minds.
You know just what to say to make it all okay.
Okay, now let's get these nasty floors cleaned up. What I'm using is 1 teaspoon of original powder Tide to this bucket of very hot water. If you would like, you can add a splash of bleach. As you know, this mop is my favorite. I gave one of my daughters my steam mop because I hardly used it after I got this CEDAR mop. And now that I found this recipe for a floor cleaner, I don't think I'll be returning to any mop or any other cleaner. I'll link the mop down in my description box.
To hide. Two different minds.
Oh, oh, oh.
Two different minds.
We're not the ones who hide. Two different minds. Telling lies. That's how we stay alive. At least we try to survive. We're not the ones who hide.
Two different minds.
We're not the ones who hide.
Two different minds. Telling lies.
That's how we stay alive.
I find it hard to read you. You never say what's on your mind, yeah. I'm going crazy all over you.
Yes, I'm pouring the mop bucket into the clean sink. However, this is hours after I did the original clean, so I'll need to clean the sink out again anyways.
Push me back, pull me in, and the other way around. Pull me in, push me back. What do you want from me?
Now I'm going to throw the blankets into the dryer, and then we'll finish up the cleaning by putting the furniture and rugs back in place. It feels good to have everything back to a clean slate. No, not everything is perfect, but it's clean and ready for me to start my routines again. If you like this video, would you please give me a big thumbs up? It lets YouTube know that you're enjoying my videos. And don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so that you get reminded every time I post a new video. And I hope to see you back here on Sunday, where we organize my guest bathroom cabinets and drawers. I plan on adding things in there to make my guests feel welcome. I hope that you'll also head over to the playlist and watch the organizing videos that I've done from mine and my daughter's homes. I want to thank you again for spending this time with me. Stay blessed, my friends.
What I want, then you